Some terminology with respect to managing inventory may vary from one company to another. Therefore, a glossary of terms has been included in the accompanying materials. Most small businesses have approximately 70% of their working capital tied up in inventory. Proper inventory management is important to make the best use of this capital. In this video, we want to show how to organize for inventory control using ABC analysis, how to decide how much to order using economic order quantity analysis, and how to decide when to place an order using the two-bin approach. Remember, the procedures outlined here apply only to staple items, not to fad items like hula hoops or pet rocks.
Carmelan, where's the bologna?
In the freezer, where it always is.
The freezer is empty, Carmelan.
That's because it's the long weekend. What a rush. We're sold out of everything.
Well, don't break your arm patting yourself on the back, Carmelan. Mrs. Slaney just left the store because she couldn't get a bologna. Now she's gone across the street to the mini-mart.
Well, there's no love lost here.
We're not in business for love, Carmelan. How many bolognas did you order?
35, same as usual.
Well, this isn't the same as usual, is it? It's the 24th weekend. You said so yourself. People are leaving town in droves.
Yeah, no, I'm working.
Not for long at this rate, my dear. You have nothing to sell. Everyone is stocking up and we've no stock. Carmelan, if you're going to manage the store, you have to think inventory management. Now, there are 6 good reasons, Carmelan, to practice inventory management. Number 1, to meet the changes in demand.
Like the long weekend.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Number 2, to take advantage of discounts, buying your stock in bulk. Number 3, to protect against delays in delivery from those impossible men and those impossible trucks that make all this possible.
Like last spring, when we had the glitter storm and the power went out and the truck never got in. My God, people were buying up everything. You could have sold some old whack of bologna then.
And would have sold some old whack of bologna, my dear, if you'd had any. And if you'd practiced proper inventory management, you would have. Number 4, you buy stock as a hedge against inflation and sudden price increases in stock. Number 5, just to smooth production.
Smooth production.
And number 6, for speculation. New products, new trends. For instance, oat bran bread. Make a note of that, Carmelan. Everyone seems to be eating it.
Yeah, all the old crowd are asking for that. We should buy a big whack of that for the winter.
No, Carmelan. You can't really stock up on bread the same way you can on your major items like bologna and potatoes.
You could freeze it.
All right. We'll freeze a small amount along with our biggie, bologna. And all of that, Carmelan, is practicing inventory management.
Inventory management.
Excellent. Now, there are 2 costs associated with your inventory. The obvious cost to us, of course, of not having it, sales lost, and the cost of having it, your carrying costs. Now, inventory management is balancing those 2 costs.
The cost of not having it?
Well, of course, sales lost, Mrs. Slaney's dollar bills going across to the mini-mart. And, of course, loss of goodwill because she'll keep going there if we're not careful.
Gotcha. I'll
Right.
get on the horn now and order enough bologna to last us till Christmas.
No, Carmelan. It'll cost us a fortune to buy it, and to keep it in the store, we'll be buried in the carrying costs.
Carrying cost.
Yes.
The cost of having it.
Who said that?
Me.
Carmelan. You know, I think you're ready for a rundown of the carrying costs.
Oh, Mrs. Brink, it's a bit early in the day for carrying costs, isn't it?
Now, Carmelan, you already know your carrying costs.
I do?
Well, of course you do. Number 1, there's the interest on the loan we take out to buy our stock.
Interest on the money you borrow.
Exactly. Number 2, our insurance.
Oh, yeah, we got that.
Fire, theft.
Yeah.
Number 3, security systems.
Like locks or bars on the window.
Number 4, our building costs, storage costs.
Rent.
And number 5, obsolescence, deterioration of stock.
Oh, I eats everything that starts to go off.
How loyal of you.
So let's see. There's interest, insurance, security, storage, and rat.
Obsolescence.
Yeah, right. Add them all up, and that's your carrying costs.
Right.
That's
Of
it.
course, there is one other cost. The cost of placing the order. Don't underestimate yourself, Carmeline. We have to pay you your wages and the typing costs and the order forms. All that is called our ordering costs.
So, the more stock you got in the store, the higher your carrying costs are. But the less your stock out costs and your ordering costs. But the less stock you got in the store, then you lose sales, so your stock out costs goes up and your ordering costs goes up. So you got to figure there's hundreds of items in this store. Now, we get to know when to order them and how much to order. Mrs. Brink, this is really confusing. You don't think you could do this? Can I call you Betty?
No.
Oh.
It's as easy as shopping, Carmeline. You know how to shop.
Oh, yeah?
Well, let's just make our own shopping list, shall we? All our biggest sellers, our most important items, we list in Group A. All our second most important items, we'll put in Group B. And then everything else in Group C. So that's A, B, and C.
Ah.
And then we'll make a master list of every item in the store and their dollar value for last year.
All right, well, I got all that here.
How convenient. I'll just use my Rolodex. I have it all here at my fingertips.
You've got all this and that.
Oh, yes. And the first thing we need to do is to calculate the dollar volume of each item.
Dollar value?
Yes. Now, the dollar volume, you see, is the dollar value of each item times the number of items sold. So, we sold 2,000 bolognas last year at a value of $10 a bologna for a total dollar volume of $20,000.
Wow. Some old bologna, what?
Oh, some old bolognas, right, my dear. We had 1,000 60-watt light bulbs at $1 each for a total dollar volume of...
$1,000.
Exactly. And then...
Water remover. 18 bottles times $4.40 a bottle equals $79.20.
Perfect, Carmeline. Now, these figures, of course, won't make us the giants of the Newfoundland corporate scene,
No.
but they do tell us which of these three items was most important to us last year.
Yeah, we're never going to make a killing on water remover.
No. But now, if we do this for every item we carry and order them all from the highest volume to the lowest volume, we'll have an idea of what our most important items are. Now, to keep things simple, let's work with an example, shall we? Here's a list of 10 items and their dollar volumes for the year. First, we put them in order from the highest to the lowest. Second, we add up the volumes to find out the total volume. Third, we calculate the percentage of that volume which each item represents.
Good thing that calculator got a memory.
I hope you do. Now we can classify the items into A, B, and C class. Now, in our Class A, it's typical for only 1 or 2% of your items to make up a full 80 to 90% of your total dollar volume. Now, these items have to be closely controlled and shortages cannot be allowed. So we should keep a safety stock. Now, B class usually contains 10 to 15% of the dollar volume and about 30% of the items. These items should be reviewed periodically. We could consider ordering them together because it's cheaper. Temporary shortages leading to back orders are okay. C class contains the rest of the items. Usually about only 5% of the dollar volume, but about 70% of the items. These items don't need to be reviewed as often as B class. Shortages are okay, so we don't need to keep a safety stock. And we won't make an extra effort to fill the back orders. So let's figure out what's A, what's B, and what's C.
Piece of cake. Let's see. Potato and bologna. Now, they're obviously Class A items, because you don't want to run out of them. But now, water remover and pharmacy items, they're Class C, because they're not so important. But ketchup and paper towels will be Class B. But now, light bulbs are not as important as ketchup, but they're more important than water remover, so they would come between B and C?
Well, the classification is only a guide, Carmeline. You mustn't get too upset if you can't pigeonhole every single item. The important thing is to have a useful system to go by and keep a nose for the marketplace.
All right, so your A-class items, you don't want to run out of stock. Your B-class items are not quite so important, and your C-class items, you're not going to lose no sleep over them.
All right, we're on the same track, Carmel Ann. Now let's find out how much we should order and when we should order it. Now, this is not going to be easy, Carmel Ann, so you shouldn't try and understand it. Because, you see, it's a formula. A magic formula. I bought it at a bazaar in Cairo. It's called the economic order quantity. Looks Egyptian, doesn't it?
Yeah, that'll look good on a pair of earrings.
A friend of mine, an anthropologist, Dr. Jones, helped me to locate it. Nowadays, we know it as the economic order quantity, a commandment of small business. Its greater meaning has been lost in antiquity. Well, let's get out our calculators where the modern and the ancient meet. The economic order quantity is equal to the square root of 2 times the dollar volume times the ordering cost divided by the carrying cost. To find our economic order quantity for bologna, we need 2 times the dollar volume of the bologna, $20,000, times the order cost per order, $12, over your carrying costs, 24% a year. The calculator tells me that the EOQ is $1,414 per order. That's the cost of the ideal quantity to order. Now, how does that help us? If we divide the EOQ by the cost per bologna, we'll know how many units to order each time. Now, what is the unit cost of our bolognas?
$10 each. So 10 into $1,414 is 141 units. That's how much we order.
Exactly. Next, we want to find out how many times a year to place the order. So we divide the estimated sales, $20,000, by the EOQ, and we get 14. That means we place an order 14 times a year, or about every 26 days.
What are you trying to do to me? This is worse than school, Mrs. Brink.
The EOQ, you see, Carmel Ann, balances your ordering costs against your carrying costs. Now, let's see what would happen if we ordered more than the EOQ in one instance and less than the EOQ in another. Example 1. We order more than the EOQ, say $1,800. To find the number of units to order, divide the estimated sales, 20,000 again, by 1,800, and we get the number of orders, 11 per year. The ordering cost of $132 equals the 11 orders times $12, the cost of placing one order. To find the carrying cost, we divide 1,800 by 2, then multiply by 24% to get a carrying cost of $216. Your total cost is your ordering cost, $132, plus your carrying cost, $216, which gives you $348. Look at the 3 examples together.
Well, in the first example, your ordering costs are down because you ordered less often, but your carrying costs are higher and your total cost is higher.
Very good. Now take a look at example 2, where we order less than the EOQ.
Well, this time your ordering costs are higher and your carrying costs are down, but the total cost is higher still.
Now compare those costs to our EOQ.
The EOQ costs are less. The EOQ balances the 2 costs in the most effective manner. God, them old Egyptians really knew what they were doing, didn't they?
They certainly did. And then when you have the EOQ of every item in the store, you can put the formula away in a safe place until next time. But you still have to watch the marketplace, fluctuations in the marketplace, holidays, fads. You have to keep on top of the stock, as well as the carrying costs and the ordering costs. So you will need a good accounting system.
A good accounting system. So with this EOQ, we could place an order at the beginning of every year for 141 units worth $1,414 to be sent every 4 weeks?
Yes, but if the demand suddenly changes, oh, say the town decides it can't stomach another mouthful of bologna, and I know that day is coming, then we'll have to change our order accordingly.
All right, that's fine for A-class items. But what about the B and the C-class items?
Well, first of all, remember, Carmeline, you cannot afford to fall asleep when it comes to the A-class items like the potatoes, and quality potatoes too, Carmeline. Just because it's a potato, it doesn't have to say PEI. Buy some of those lovely blue potatoes from your uncle in Kelligrews and get them to store them for you in his root cellar and drive your carrying costs down. Have your cake and eat it too. Then, just for fun, check and see what that does to your EOQ.
For fun.
Right. Now, usually, when you place your order or when you receive the stock in the store is an excellent time to do an on-the-spot physical count of your A-class items. Now, C-class items, well, we can order them after a fixed time. And if they're from the same supplier, we'll order them all at once to cut down your shipping costs. Now, the B-class items, well, you can compute them for an EOQ. But again, try to order several at once if they're from the same supplier.
So much for economic order quantity analysis. What's next?
When to place an order. But first, I must explain lead time to you. Now, the lead time is the time between placing the order and then actually receiving the stock.
Why is that important?
Well, let's go back to the bologna. Now, it takes about 5 days after we place an order before we actually receive the bologna in the store. Now, while we're waiting, we continue to sell what we have in the store, at least 25 units. So it's important that we place our order when there are still 25 units left in the store to sell.
Good point. But what about in the winter? What about there was a delay in the shipment, you never got it on time? Then we'd be out of luck. Not to mention bologna.
Excellent, Carmeline, you're reading my mind. And this is where our safety stock comes in.
Safety stock.
During the bad months, we keep an extra 10 units in the store, and we place our order when we have 25 plus the 10 units, or 35 units, in the store. And that is called our reorder point.
But we still order the same number as before.
Oh, yes. And then if there's some trouble with the order arriving, we've got extra stock, the 10 units, to avoid stockouts. You look perplexed. What's the problem?
Is there an easy way to find out when the reorder point has arrived?
Well, for practically minded people, there's always the 2-bin system. 2 bins contain the entire inventory of the item. Now, bin number 1 is used to meet the demand. Bin number 2 is held in reserve. Now, when bin number 1 is empty, we've reached the reorder point, and a refill order is placed with the supplier.
And how much do we reorder?
The order size is always the economic order quantity. In this case, 141 units. Now, in our example, number 2 bin contains 35 units, and number 1 contains 106 units. Now, when number 1 is empty, we place an order in with our supplier, and we continue to sell from bin number 2, which meets our lead time demand. Then when our order arrives, we place 35 units in bin number 1, and the rest, 106 units, in on top of whatever's left in bin number 2. Then we switch our numbers and carry on as usual.
So let me see if I got this straight. Bin number 1 is used to fill the orders. When it's empty, we place an order for 141 bolognas, the economic order quantity, and while we're waiting for the order to arrive, we sell the 35 bolognas from bin number 2, the reserve. When the new stock arrives, we put 35 bolognas in bin number 1 and the rest in bin number 2. Then we switch the numbers on the 2 bins and carry on selling from bin number 1. You're cute as a fox. All in all, quite the day. We've learned ABC analysis, economic order quantity analysis, and the 2-bin system.
Well, I've tried in my own small way to drive home the importance of proper inventory management. Having just enough of the right thing in the right place at the right time to make the most money. In time, it will become an art, Carmeline. So remember, Keep your ear to the ground and your finger on your EOQ.
There's only one thing I want to know, Miss B. Where did you learn all this stuff?
Well, now, my father's people were from Buren and were quite successful in business. They were all Memorial boys, of course, but now that was long before the Small Enterprise Association was started.